Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw review for May 25th, 2020. If this is the first time you actually have seen any videos from this channel, please hit the like button if you like this video and hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I'm trying to get this channel to at least 200 subscribers by the end of June. So please hit the subscribe button if you would like to join this channel. I upload a lot of videos per week, at least 4 or 5 videos per week. Sometimes I take a day off or so, but that's just to give myself a break from talking, because what I do for a living, it involves me doing a lot of talking anyway. Anyway, guys, what is the best part about Monday Night Raw? Let's put it this way. When it's over. That's pretty much it. When this show is off the air and it closes at 11 o'clock, that's when Monday Night Raw is the best time. It's the best part of the show. Is when it's over. There was nothing on the show that was memorable. Not very much. One thing I will point out that I did enjoy seeing, but it's a little too late, is the fact that they went ahead and had an audience in the crowd. They actually had a crowd. And they used their NXT guys that aren't being utilized on WWE television as that crowd. I do remember watching a lot of JD's videos. JD from New York 206. If you're not subscribed to his channel, I would highly recommend it. I'm sure he doesn't need my help, but since I'm bringing him up, I would like to point that out to anyone that doesn't know JD from New York 206's channel. Definitely check him out. He's a very good channel and definitely gives out a lot of great information about wrestling, his knowledge about it, and just seeing how he criticizes WWE is very reasonable. I mean, he really gives a good valid point to why he is bashing the shit out of WWE. And a lot of my opinions, I have the same as his, and I don't even watch his videos before I do my own. I always review before I watch his videos. So if you watch my video and you watch his videos and compare the two, they sound pretty much the same. And it's pretty freaking weird. But I share a lot of his opinions, is why I'm subscribed to his channel. But quite frankly, this show sucked. Again, another week in the books, and it sucked. They had plexiglass windows over the barricades, of which I thought was a very nice add-on to keeping everyone safe. They did mention the pandemic a little bit by stating that the people in the audience were tested. They didn't mention for what, but you kind of get the gist. Kevin Owens kickstarted the show. God help us, it was about the Raw Women's title. Asuka was invited out to the ring, and havoc just broke out with Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax, Asuka, and Natalya. Meaningless bullshit. Didn't mean nothing. Apollo Crews and Andrade Cien for the United States Championship. It was inevitable. It was going to happen. Apollo Crews wins the United States Championship. It is time for Andrade to hit the hay. He is over and done with. This match was okay, but the ending was a little bit weak. I didn't particularly care for the standing moonsault star press for the win. I thought that was a very weak ending, but he is now the new United States champion. Congratulations to him. He gets an interview talking about saying that he first stated his journey. He was told he couldn't do it. They laughed at him, but 11 years of hard work and sacrifice, he's won his first title in WWE. He never quit or gave up. And now he can say to the whole world that he is the United States champion. That's it. We also see Andrade flipping out backstage and destroying stuff afterwards. The Street Profits were actually going to be in battle with the Viking Raiders in a golf match, which we'll get into later in this review. We see Seth Rollins holding a Rey Mysterio mask backstage, and the Monday Night Messiah is backstage, and he says tonight is a night for celebration. Seth says Rey Mysterio is a sacrifice for the greater good, and he can't imagine the pain he went through. He doesn't know what the future holds for Rey, but if that was his final act as WWE superstar, then at least it was a courageous one. He holds his hands out and he's joined by his disciples, Austin Theory and Murphy, which, by the way, I mentioned this last week, I'm going to mention it here. Murphy and Austin Theory, I think, would make a terrific tag team, but with the tag team division being the way it is on Monday Night Raw, it's like, what is the point of having these guys even compete for tag team gold? There's really nothing to fight over here. I mean, you got the Viking Raiders and Street Profits fighting in athletic competition in different sports. I mean, like, what the fuck does that matter? So Seth Rollins says tonight they will show Humberto Carrillo, the loser, and Aleister Black what it means to cross the Monday Night Messiah. Whoopie fucky do. Charlotte. Caruso interviews Charlotte Flair backstage. Charlie asks what it will mean for Charlotte's legacy if she becomes a double champion. Flair says she is the most consistent and prolific champion in WWE history. Sounds like something Sean View Entertainment would say. If you guys know anything about Sean's View Entertainment, stay the fuck away from him. He is clickbait, 100%. I used to be a subscriber to him, and he really disappointed. Don't really care for him at all. Anyway, so she is the measuring stick. Yeah, sure. You're the measuring stick, and measure my cock, please. It's probably bigger than what you have to measure. So she says nobody compares. Asuka comes dancing into the frame with her title and says red is not your color. The Iconics come to the ring, but we'll have to wait until after the break, and blah blah blah. This is what Ringside News had to say for this review on this show. I'm just kind of reading off because I did not take notes. I didn't see the point of doing that for this episode. So they're back from the segment. They have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out, and Bliss says they have had opponents or opportunities, but they failed. Cross starts to talk, but Royce cuts her off and tells her to stay quiet. Cross says that she has taken all the same steps as Bliss, all the same moves to get to where they are. She left Glasgow with nothing in her pocket and no friends, and she made it. She was an outcast when Alexa found her and offered her a hand, and she likes to think she proved to Lexi what friendship is, and there's nothing more iconic than that. Very powerful words. I did see that part of the show, of this segment, I should say. I didn't really care for what the Iconics had to say, but I did hear what Nikki Cross had to say. It seemed kind of powerful to me, but other than that, like, nothing really matters for this rivalry. It's pointless. Like, they lost, move on, try to find a fucking tag team for the women's division. Create something, anything, something memorable. So Royce and Kay attack the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, beating them each into the corners. They beat Alexa out of the ring and hit Cross with a spinning axe kick. They hit an inverted magic killer before holding the titles up and posing. What the fuck you do? So we have Lana approaching MVP backstage and stares at him. She says they need to talk, and he laughs and says, no, we don't. Not much there. So what else on this wonderful show? Because I'm not going to sit here for 20 plus minutes explaining this entire show to you guys. I'm sure you guys are bored as fuck listening to me talk about this crappy show. I'm not enthusiastic about it whatsoever. So I'm not going to waste so much fucking time here. MVP is got the VIP lounge coming up with Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is very aware of the trap that's being done on him at this point. He ain't playing around, so he says, call out Bobby Lashley, let's get this over with. Very smart, intellectual thing to do. I found this to be an intelligent thing that they did here. Nothing really came out of any of this. Nothing memorable or even worthy enough, even in commentary purposes, to help promote this match and hype it up. Nothing here. It was garbage. Drew McIntyre delivered a Claymore kick to MVP. That was pretty much it. Big whoop. We then get a match with Kevin Owens versus Angel Garza with Zelina Vega in his corner. Surprisingly enough, Zelina Vega, being in the corner of Andrade, and they lost the U.S. Championship at this point. So, who gives a shit? Angel Garza actually attacked Kevin Owens during his entrance and hit him in the knee. He had a problem with his kneecap. That played a humongous factor in this matchup, ending the match with Garza hitting a wing clipper for the win. Kevin Owens was trying to deliver the pop-up powerbomb, but because his knee being messed up, Garza managed to counter to connect with that wing clipper. And get the 1, 2, 3. Street Profits are doing a golf course segment. This was a ripoff of the Caddyshack and Happy Gilmore in all aspects. I mean, literally, they were touching on all things here. It was pretty fucking retarded. Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo, the loser, the guy who eats all the L's. And I now figured out what Humberto Carrillo really is. He is the version of Sammy Guevara of AEW. Only one small problem. Sammy Guevara is entertaining. He's entertaining to hate on. He is entertaining in other aspects. The one thing that Humberto Carrillo doesn't have is any personality at all. He's not funny, he's not entertaining, and he's not even worthy enough to be on this roster. So who gives a shit? Carrillo took the L. Austin Theory picks up the victory. Nice move on WWE's part. I have to admit, I did agree with that decision with Austin Theory picking up this victory because he's been on a losing streak. And for him to eat another L or not be the one to get the win here would have been very stupid on WWE's part. They need to capitalize on this momentum. They now got Austin Theory on, and I feel that this is a definite momentum push that he's getting now that he's part of the Monday Night Messiah group, or whatever they're going to call themselves. I don't even know if they have a faction name for themselves. So after the match, Rollins directs traffic as Theory and Murphy attack Carrillo. They toss Black over the barricade into the timekeeper's area, then beat Carrillo up. They continue beating on Humberto, but Seth stops them as Black gets into the ring with a chair. Rollins tells them to put Humberto's eye into the ring steps if Alberto Del Rio comes Aleister Black comes any closer. So he kind of is hesitating. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't want to get Carrillo in the same circumstances as Rey Mysterio, so he holds off. All right, smart decision. Once again, though, they do not explain what is Seth Rollins' purpose or what his mission is here. He's leaving everyone with more questions than answers, which doesn't help them out in this situation. But at the same time, they're leaving you with a hook to move forward into the next episode to maybe find out what that is. Edge gets on, is in the back. He's talking about his situation with the match with Randy Orton, contemplating and also openly admitting he doesn't know if he can beat Randy Orton in a legit match. Which then begs to question, why would you call this the greatest match ever if you're one of your two participants in this match is stating that he's not sure that he can compete in a regular matchup anymore? That makes no sense. He brings up The Undertaker. The Undertaker's plugged into this, which I found very interesting. And I honestly have to say that there is a good possibility, and I mentioned on JD's review for AEW Double or Nothing for Super Chat, that does he think that Undertaker may get a shot for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania against Drew McIntyre and also win the Royal Rumble coming up next year? And he says that's a possibility, but he doesn't know if that's going to happen. Depends on what Vince McMahon wants to do, and I totally agree on that. Everything that happens with WWE all revolves around fucking Vince McMahon. That's why the show is so crap. That's basically it. They had the Charlotte Flair, Nyla Jax, Natalya match, number one contender match. Why this match even happened, I don't know why. Made no fucking sense to me. Bottom line, Nia Jax wins, beating Natalya. I was actually surprised. I thought Charlotte Flair was going to win this match easily. But they did something totally different and made Nia Jax face Asuka, which I think eventually Asuka's going to lose the title to Charlotte Flair. You had Ric Flair on there talking about the match between Edge and Orton. He thinks that Edge is going to lose to Randy Orton. Liv Morgan tells us more things we might not know about her, and this time it's that she never felt good enough, never had any self-worth. Gee, should I slit my own throat now watching the show and listening to you talk, or should I wait later? I don't know. Anyway... What a waste of time that was. Then you had the Street Profits versus MVP and Bobby Lashley, which was initiated earlier on in the show after the golf segment. And MVP makes some nasty remarks to the Street Profits and so forth. And so this led from one thing to another and became an actual match, and that was that. Street Profits and MVP and Bobby Lashley was nothing more than a piece of garbage. They get forwarded his place in a full Nelson by Bobby Lashley and gets the win, though he doesn't release the hold. He's counted a 5. I do believe there might have been a disqualification. I'm not sure. Who gives a shit? Doesn't matter. And Lashley gets demolished, or at least Drew McIntyre tries to demolish Bobby Lashley, but is separated by the crowd, the NXT crowd, and they separate the two at the end of the show, and they look like they're about ready to tear each other's heads off, which I thought was pretty good, but otherwise it wasn't even that memorable. Who gives a fuck? Why am I even bother watching this? I don't know. Outside of the fact I'd like to provide you guys with some videos to watch and give you guys some entertainment of my opinions on this crummy, ridiculous show. Bottom line, guys, this show shouldn't even be called Raw, because it ain't Raw. It ain't war. There's no war in here. There's no seriousness. There's nothing. I mean, you can go back on the WWE Network and look at Raw's from in its worst days, before this, and you could say it's better and enjoy it. This is just... I have one word for this. It's called bubblegum rustling. It's like pop music. It's garbage. It's like people with no brains. And if you enjoy watching this shit and find value out of it, I wish I could be as dumb as you are, or at least find the enjoyment out of mediocrity, because I think this is below mediocrity. This is just like down to the ground bullshit to its finest. But anyway, guys, that's all I really have to say on this episode. I apologize I went 20 minutes, but I mean, it just ended up being that way. With this show, it's just garbage all around anyway. But anyway, guys, please leave a comment down below. Hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this channel. And I thank you very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.